Always Mine by SamadiW. Chapter 7. Hermione ignored Draco. That much was blatantly obvious. He concluded that he deserved it. After all, he had said what happened between them was a mistake. He watched as she came and went, and only spoke to him if it regarded their head duties or at their weekly meetings with the prefects. It was driving him insane. He longed to share a few intellectual words with her. She even stopped patrolling with him, sticking him with Michael and taking Weaslette with her. Nobody said a word if anyone else sensed the tension between the two heads. It had been nearly 2 weeks, and she barely acknowledged his existence, not even when he had Astoria over. Her lips pressed together. She made her displeasure obvious before leaving the dorm, slamming the door behind her and making Astoria jump on his lap. He assumed it was some payback when he returned to the dorm from the dungeons to find her on the top of the kitchen counter with her shapely, smooth legs firmly around Weasley's waist and his filthy fucking hands all over her. Draco saw red when she threw her head back and moaned her very sexy little moan. She was making the same moans she made with him. Fuck no. Those belonged to him. It was obvious that Weasel's shit had no fucking clue how to pleasure a woman by watching them intently. Ron kissed her neck, and she locked eyes with Draco. Her eyes challenged him. They stared intensely and deep into each other's eyes, golden brown and stormy grey, locked in a death glare. One final moan broke their eye contact. Draco felt his temper rise. Hearing her dulcet tones from being pleasured by another man, his ears felt a dull pain. Before he cracked completely and beat Weasley into a dust pile, he quickly turned on his heel and stormed out of the door. Hermione grinned triumphantly and pushed Ron away. He let out a cry of protest. "What the hell, Hermione?" Blaise and Theo exchanged looks over their friend's erratic behavior. We were playing a game of wizard chess, and Draco pretended to watch. He was not concentrating on shit. "Checkmate, loser," Blaise declared, smirking. Theo leaned back. "Oh, come on, man. That's the 5th fucking time I've lost." Draco rolled his eyes, joining the conversation. "That's because you're an idiot." "You know you love me." Theo pouted his lips affectionately at Draco. "Don't make me kick your ass," Draco threatened jokingly. Theo animatedly covered his face. "No, not my pretty face." Blaise laughed. "Girl's bare fucking ass looks better than your face, mate." Theo grabbed the shirt over his heart and looked at Blaise miserably. "You cut me deep, brother. So very deep." "For fuck's sake, enough!" Draco growled, irritated. "What's got you on, knickers in a knot, then?" Theo asked Draco curiously. He punched the couch in frustration. "I am so fucking bored." Theo's eyes lit up. "There are ways to fix that." Blaise menacingly pointed his fingers at Theo. "I am not sneaking into the girls' dorm with you again. Fuck no, we are not doing that." Draco raised a questioning eyebrow. Blaise hid his face in shame. "Don't ask, mate. It was the single most pathetic moment of my life." Astoria and Pansy walked by, and Theo pointed at them. "Well, you can always do that," he said rather loudly, not caring if the girls heard. Pansy turned around and shot back. "Go fuck your mother, Theo. You have a face only a mother could love." Draco and Blaise laughed hard while Theo looked at Pansy as if she had punched him in the gut. Astoria spoke sweetly to Draco. "You want to go for a walk, darling?" He rolled his eyes in boredom. "Leave me alone, woman." Astoria threw Draco a look of momentary disgust. "He's such an asshole at times," Pansy confided in Astoria as they walked away. Potions were Draco's least favorite subject, even more so after Stockholm took over, but he did have a talent for it. It had been fairly tolerable with Snape around. It was one of those subjects that never gave him grief, but he hated the fumes and not the ingredients. Draco thought back to Severus Snape. The man was a mystery, and he could not help but hold his ex-professor in such high regard, maybe even over Dumbledore. Snape risked his life to serve the Order because of love, a love so pure that he risked his own life for her happiness. Draco found out the woman Snape so ardently loved was Potter's mother and a Muggle-born. Snape risked his life for Muggle-born even after her death. He remained loyal to her. His eyes drifted towards Hermione. He busily arranged the ingredients around her and lit a fire under the cauldron. Draco's eyes glazed over fondly as he thought, "My very own Muggle-born." The thought made him snap clear out of his daydream. He groaned in disgust and averted his gaze at once. Hell no, he had not just thought that. Hermione looked bored and exhausted while Ron sat beside her, trying to kiss her neck, pulling her closer by her blouse. She shoved him playfully, and he settled back in his seat and turned away to speak to Harry. Draco had just about enough of Weasley groping Granger forever they were. The fuck had no class. Blaise followed the blonde's penetrating glare and bit back a laugh. Interesting. Draco turned to his friend. What's interesting? You have been staring at Granger for 10 minutes, and it's not the first time. Blaise mused calmly. Draco sneered. Shut the fuck up, Blaise. Blaise put his hands up in surrender and snorted. I'm just saying, mate. Calm down. Draco leaned back and turned his attention to Slughorn, who was droning on about some shite. Slughorn pointed to the cauldron in front of him. Can't you guess what this is? He asked the class in general, but only Hermione could reply, as usual. Clearing her throat, she answered. It's Veritaserum, sir. Slughorn beamed at her, as he usually did. Good job, Miss Granger. 10 points to Gryffindor. Ron and Harry smiled at her encouragingly. Slughorn raised his voice. Now, I want everyone to split up into pairs and make the potion. Whatever you acquire will be in the storage room. He then proceeded to read the list of teams. Everyone groaned since they would not be able to pick their partner. Blaise got paired with a rather sour-looking girl from Ravenclaw. He made a face at Draco and gathered his things to sit with his new partner. Ron was paired up with Pansy. She cried in frustration. Just my luck to get stuck with an idiot. Harry and Hermione threw her a stern look, and Pansy shrugged her shoulders and shook her head. Hermione hoped she would get to be Harry's partner when she heard him get paired up with a rather bubbly boy from Hufflepuff. The boy seemed unable to conceal his excitement at having the chosen one as his potion partner. Smiling at Harry encouragingly, she gave him a thumbs up. He hid a frown and walked away. She knew what was coming next. Everyone else was paired up beside her and Malfoy. And Slughorn did not disappoint as he called out their names and partnered her up with the one person she was avoiding like the plague. Bloody fantastic. But some might even call it fate. Hermione glanced over her shoulder and saw him leaning against a chair, his legs stretched out in front with a smug and amused expression. Why the hell did he have to be so fucking hot? When he met no sign of moving, she sighed, gathered her things, and went to sit with him. The minute she got close, he drawled sensually. Well, it seems like fate is on my side, Granger. She ignored him, adjusted a small cauldron, and lit a fire under it. Turning to face him with her back to the table, she asked sweetly, Do you want to get the ingredients? Draco grinned, displaying a perfect batch of teeth. Oh, so cold. He held out his hand and rasped, Give me the damn paper. Hermione handed it over and watched as he walked lazily towards the storage room. She added to other ingredients until he returned. Humming to herself, she stirred a concoction when he came up behind her and tottered. Her body betrayed her at once. It was an instant, uncontrollable reaction. The effect he had on her was intoxicating. The fine hairs on her neck sprang to life at his closeness. He placed his hand over hers and whispered into the shell of her ear. You need to stir counterclockwise. Hermione felt herself lean back onto his firm chest. Draco didn't move an inch. They were at the back and hardly noticeable to the rest. He took in her scent and muttered huskily, You have been avoiding me, Granger. I miss you. She swallowed as his hand went around her waist, brushing his lips along her skin. A low moan escaped her already parted lips, and she replied quietly, People don't miss their mistakes, Draco. The grip around her tightened. He softly kissed a throbbing pulse of her neck. You are no mistake, love. She almost closed her eyes and surrendered to him, but a loud bang cut through the moment. They broke apart instantly as Pansy's angry voice filled the room. You fucking moron! Look at my face! Everyone turned to look at a sheepish Ron, covered in thick black goo. Everyone burst out laughing, and Hermione used the distraction to distance herself from Draco. He eyed her with amusement, but didn't pursue her, and set to cutting up the ingredients. To be continued. Thank you for listening to this chapter of Always Mine by SamadiW. If you'd like to stay up to date on upcoming chapters and stories, you can follow me on YouTube, Spotify, or AO3.